What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is having a legendary day. I just seen Jason hopped up in the green room. Man, what you mean a few minutes behind, bro? You're good. You're right there where I need you. Anyway, waiting for Instagram. We're on Instagram. All right, y'all. So I know Jason covered this a lot, but I got some new stuff to cover about the 2024 schedule. And I actually got some questions that I think are going to get me and Jason are going to have an intriguing conversation today about what we hope will be the schedule of the future Super Bowl champions. But before we get started with all that, y'all know the drill. We got to pay some bills. We're going to go ahead and do that. We'll run the intro, and then we'll get crack-a-lacking. Today's episode is sponsored by Power Brand Systems. Need help getting new customers for your business? Let Power Brand Systems help you grow with their powerful tools. Visit powerbrandsystems.com/Niner Faithful Radio for more info. For the Faithful, by the Faithful, off-season sale is happening now. Save 20% on all For the Faithful, by the Faithful season 1 through 3 gear now through June 30th. Go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/shop to save. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok, and at Niner Faithful R on X. If you like our content and would like to support the show, consider leaving us a tip in our tip jar at NinerFaithfulRadio.us/tip jar. Join our exclusive membership community where you get exclusive NFR content not available anywhere else. Join our exclusive chat, 20% off of all non-sale For the Faithful, by the Faithful gear, and much more. Visit portal.ninerfaithfulradio.us/login to join. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, without further ado, let's get the show cracking.
Rice has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
Niner Faithful Radio, the show hosted for the faithful, by the faithful, brought to you by Power Brand Systems.
What's cracking, Jason? What's you, bro?
What's up, man? And I was late.
No, you like I literally hit start. I heard the dude. I looked down. I was like, what? If anything, it was like 3 seconds, maybe.
Late. I don't like being late to things.
Me neither, bro. Me neither.
Same old sorry ass man. So long. Same old sorry ass man. So long.
What's cracking, David McNiner? We see you, baby.
What's up, McNiner? What's up, Kenny? Kenny and me did a good show on Friday evening.
Thank you. I actually wasn't able to catch any of it. I'll probably watch a little bit of it after the show. But I saw that y'all were on. What's cracking? Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate that. Damn. Just kidding. Fuck you too, then, Kenny. I was all about to give him props. Like, yeah, Kenny's my dude. Da, 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 da. Then all of a sudden he's like, oh, just kidding. Fuck you too, nigga. Anyway, so it's been. So your boy almost ain't a carny anymore. This week will be the last week that Eyes works for the circus. So.
I was expecting you to show up at my door one day. Hey, man, the Colonel's in town. Can I spend the night at your house?
You know, it's so funny. So they said they're going out to a place called Laguna Hills. I don't think I've ever heard of it. They're going to there. Then they're going to Portland. And then they're going to finish the year in Santa Monica. we were all like, so you're going up to Portland just to end up back to SoCal? He goes, well, as you guys imagine, not everything works in a perfect straight line, So,
yeah, but I mean, you've come this far from Cali to Portland. You might as well just go to Seattle, Tacoma.
I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to understand how. Oh, what up, Ted J? Oh, okay, my bad. Anyway, look, I'm not going to pretend to see, why they choose the cities they do. I don't know. But it's been an interesting experience. I told my mother-in-law yesterday, I was like, would I do it again? No. I said maybe at most if it was like a different show, like they'd have different, like this one, this Kuza, they have one. Like if it was a different one, I'd work the week or two that I would have to work in order to get the free tickets, go see the show, and then I wouldn't work again. Unless it was like a hey, I need a job type of situation. But as a, like my girl, who has it as a second job, nah, I'm good. So
I actually have my actual first day of work tomorrow.
Oh yeah, there you go, bro. Get your grind on. Okay, so I have my notes here. So I have to say this. Okay, am I doing the math wrong, or are the Niners negative 21 rest day periods? Because I've heard 16, I've heard 20. I know that
I was going over 22, which is what Guy broke it down. And he got it down to 22, so that's what I was going with because he broke it down. I'm like, yeah, that adds up.
So when I broke down the math, I literally have it like the Jets, we have 0, Minnesota -1. I went through the math, and depending on when that Cardinals game is and when they play the week before, we're anywhere between 21 to 22 days.
Maybe they were just going on the higher end of it for 22. You know what I mean? Like they're rounding 22 worst case scenario.
This is what got me. This is what got me the most. The Ravens are plus 37. That's so. If you see the Ravens, this is my question, Jason. If Niners don't make the Super Bowl this year, right? What do you think is more likely? NFL hates us. Minus some injury, obviously, knock on wood. Certain injuries are going to derail any Super Bowl, chance. Is it more likely the 3 weeks? Let's just say an average of 3 weeks. 3 weeks more our opponents have of rest than we do, or is it the whole teams can't win the Super Bowl unless you're Tom Brady? Teams can't win the Super Bowl the year after they lose it. I point to the former.
I think it's more likely that it comes down to the fact of if we don't get that first round bye, that's the reason why. I do think it does make some difference, obviously, in the week-to-week aspect of things, whether or not someone has a couple extra days to run on a sprained ankle versus not being able to. But I think that if you can get to the first round bye, get into the playoffs, win the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl, then you got that another week bye. Once you're in the Super Bowl, I don't think that it matters as much then. Now, when we're on week 6, 7, 8 going into next season, right before the bye, and then week 15, 16, 17, those are the weeks I think it'll add up because we're going to be, obviously going into the rest in week 9 and then going into what we hope is another rest week with the bye week for the playoffs. So I hope one thing is that if those, the back end games is where it starts, really showing up, especially the second half of the season.
Which honestly is some of our biggest differentials. For example, obviously coming out the bye. So we're going to break down the schedule into two halves. I just wanted to get through this real quick. Coming out of the bye, we obviously have a plus 13 differential over Tampa Bay. But the Seahawks, we have minus 13 because they're coming off their bye when we play them at home. Green Bay, it's no advantage. Buffalo, which is, by the way, not only going to be a weather game, so
Both
the
Green Bay
snow and
and
all that like
Buffalo.
that, but they're coming off their bye week. They have 13 more days. Chicago, I think it's 1 or 9. I can't read my writing, honestly. So basically, as you look into the back half, if you told me, if we break it down like this, and you say week 1, I give it to Niners. Week 2, Minnesota. I just like it's so weird because on paper, I'm like, Brock, like, come on. The Vikings without Kirk Cousins? Let's be real. Kirk Cousins, the reason that Kirk Cousins and Brock getting concussed were the reasons they won that game last year on night. Can we agree to that? Brock doesn't get concussed, and they don't have, and Kirk Cousins doesn't play the game of his fucking life. But also what scares me about that's Minnesota's home opener, bro. They play on the road week 1.
They're going to be all sorts of hyped up for that game.
Look, my girl's, I want to say oldest uncle. I want to say it's his oldest uncle, her oldest uncle. He's a diehard Vikings fan. And I've talked to him a few times. We all seen the video of the the school and all that, and it's going to be rocking and rolling in there.
It's a good stadium. It's a good. Like, I've heard nothing but good things coming out of everybody from last season going up there. All the people that went up there had a great time. It's a great city to visit.
Yeah, I want to try their. It's called the Juicy Lucy. It's like this burger with cheese.
I can make it for you already, man. I've known it for years.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's just one of the things that was like, oh, I want to go there and try that. Look, fine. The Vikings aren't winning with Sam or a rookie. Okay, cool. But I don't really necessarily care if they go 1-15. If that only win is against the Niners, that's the only thing I give a shit about. I'm not talking about Minnesota coming in and competing for a playoff spot. I'm talking about what's Minnesota going to be like week 2 at their home opener.
Yeah, where they've got all sorts of. They're going to have all that hyped up, just like everybody else is for the home opener and stuff like that. So,
yeah. So
it is what it is.
Go ahead, bro.
And it's still a very, very talented team. Yes, they have huge issues when it comes to their quarterback position, or whether it's going to be Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy. But the rest of that team is a Super Bowl caliber team overall.
Well, see, I think everybody's been bitching about the schedule, and I watched Guy Haberman had I forget the 2 people he had on. Josh Dubois was one of them. I forget who the second one, but he's somebody from KNBR. And he had him. I think it must have been yesterday or this morning that he had him on the pod. And he said, everybody's bitching about this schedule, I just have a few notes that I have on the schedule. No more than 2 road games, either home or away, right? So you don't have a 3-game road trip. So and that only happens 1, 2, and we only have back-to-back road games twice. We go to Minnesota and then the Yams weeks 2 and 3. And then obviously the tough one, Green Bay and Buffalo. But he also said this, when you're the Niners and you say, hey, we really don't want any home games in September, right? Or at least any daytime home games, right? NFL, okay, cool. Let me see. I know 14, I don't remember. 15 was Monday night. 16 was Monday night. 17 was an afternoon game. We opened up at home an afternoon game. 18 was Minnesota.
It's probably 9 bazillion degrees.
Minnesota. 19. We have the 2 back-to-back in Tampa Bay and Cincy. And then we opened against Pittsburgh. That was an afternoon game, but it wasn't particularly hot that afternoon. I remember I was there. 20 didn't matter, even though we did open up Arizona and it was hot as shit. Didn't really matter. Nobody was in the stadium. 21, we opened up in Chicago, which honestly, the team might have wanted to deal with Levi's over what we dealt with in Chicago in that third quarter. But
monsoon.
we opened. Yeah, right. And then 20, you figure 22. I forget where we opened up in 22. Where did we open up in 22? I have the schedule on my fridge. So basically my point to all this is when you go to the NFL, you say don't have us open up at home unless it's a night game. Right? You only have 2 back-to-back road games all year. Only 2 10 a.m. games, which, out of the possibility of
22, we opened up at Chicago.
Okay, there you go. Oh, it was 22 we opened up Chicago. Where did we open up 21 then?
21? Oh, that was at the Lions. That was a high shooting.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
41-33, yep.
That's right.
I forgot about that game. That's the game I told everybody back then, watch out for the Lions in 2 years. What happens?
Because it was sneaky, because it's like, in hindsight, you're like, okay, no, the Lions were better than we thought we were. Because the vibe you get out of coming out of that game is, oh, Niners took their foot off the gas, and, we're sleepwalking at that point. And then now you look back a few years later, and you were like, no, that probably was the beginning signs of Detroit starting to be a team.
I remember telling everybody, and everybody thought it was crazy.
So, I mean, yeah. Look, do I think, like Jason said, when we're going in to Buffalo with negative 13 days rest, they're coming off their bye week, home Sunday night, and probably the snow. Look, I think all that
snow and like I said, negative 5,000 degrees.
Yeah, and all that
wind
type
chill,
of shit.
10 gray. Yeah, it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, so that's
and we're barely gonna be thawed out from the week before from Green Bay, because Green Bay is only gonna be about 10 degrees warmer.
Yeah, see. Okay, I tell you, we win only one of those two. Who you putting your money on?
Bills.
Really? I say Green Bay.
Yep. If I had to think, there's a team. You talking about a team we beat?
Yeah,
the Bills.
Yeah, I think we're going to beat Green Bay. I think.
Well, I mean, you're asking me to take one or the other. I think the Bills losing Stephon Diggs, and yes, I do like the wide receiver Keon Coleman that they picked up.
That's true.
Their rookie. I don't think they've necessarily replaced their best weapon outside of Josh Allen. So if you go just by that, I would have to say the Bills are the worst team.
You told me this game was week 2? Okay, fine. Josh Allen hasn't really figured out what to do without Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
My worry.
What's up, BC?
Yeah, special like button, everybody. My worry with we'll break that down when we get to Buffalo. To me, where I think the season, I don't want to say gets decided, but is a very okay, are we going into that tough stretch where you say Seahawks, Green Bay, Buffalo, Miami? You got the stretch of the Seahawks, Green Bay, Buffalo, Chicago, Yams, Miami, and Lions. I feel minus, of course, the Yams and Chicago. I feel it's probably the toughest stretch of the schedule. I mean, you're playing what? The only teams that aren't playoff teams in that stretch last year were the Seahawks and Chicago. The Yams were a playoff team. Miami's a playoff team. The Lions are a playoff team. Green Bay's a playoff team, and Buffalo's a playoff team. But
the back end of the schedule is the hard part.
Yeah. And this is why this to me is the most important stretch of and I'm more confident. Let's be real. If one thing we've learned about Lynn Shahan over the last years. Kyle's teams peak at the right time. Like, we're always stronger the second half of the season. What worries me is when you get to that Pats, Arizona, Chiefs, Cry Girl stretch. Right? That's some tough football right there. Like, Pats, Arizona, okay, fine. I think Arizona's going to be a little better. They're always that weird team, like the Yams are to the Seahawks, or vice versa, where like they always seem to have a game, like they always play us hard. Any random year you look back, we could be 1-1 against them, or they could sweep us. You know, it's like, oh, we went 12-4, and 2 of the losses were against the Cardinals. You know, they're just that team. But that Chiefs going to the Chiefs, and then the Cry Girls, both of them coming, the Chiefs coming off of Thursday night, and then the Cry Girls coming off of their bye. I think if we can't walk out with one or both wins out of that, I think that's gonna make some things tougher down the stretch.
Well, and like I had said earlier on the show that me and Kenny did on Friday, when it comes to the Chiefs, you got to put some money on the Chiefs until we prove we can beat the Chiefs. But if everything you say about that, you flip it, and you got to put your money on us to beat the Cowboys until the Cowboys actually beat us. You know what I mean? So until those things happen, you know, you're almost quote unquote guaranteed a win in that stretch.
No, I fully agree with you. I fully agree with you that walking into that, I mean, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but I believe we've never beaten Carson Wentz.
No, I don't think we have.
I don't believe the Niners have ever beaten Carson Wentz. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. But
I can think of when we have.
See, I'm not worried about the Jets. Now, I will admit, I'd rather play them late. Let's see. Part of me wants to play in week 1 because you mean to tell me Aaron Rodgers is just going to be ready to rock and roll week 1? Just back to full health, right? You know, come on. But
why, he's had a literal year. I mean, he should be. He's been jogging and everything for the last 2 or 3 months, so I mean, he should be good to go.
He should be good to go, and let's see, you know, when he gets hit once or twice, how that Achilles feels. You know,
he's come back off of season-ending injuries before, so I mean, it's not like he's.
I'm not going to say it's a cakewalk, and I will admit that the dysfunction of the Jets would play well to beating them, would play well later in the season. You know, when they've gone 4-9, and you know, Aaron Rodgers is, you know, pouting, and yeah, it's better to play than that when everybody's kumbaya and everybody loves each other. And
you used to have a really low feel for the what do you call it? For the Lions.
You said
I'm
what?
assuming you have a low feeling for the Lions or the Jets. I mean,
yeah. See, I'm just
so outside of the quarterback position, they're a damn good team. I mean, even then, I mean, you know, the thing that's been holding them back the last few years is quarterback play.
Yeah.
Defense has been solid. Offense has been solid, other than the 9,000 interceptions Jets quarterbacks throw.
Could you really want to see how I totally see the game playing out? I see them. I could see them being up 10-0. Let's just say they come out. They march down the field, right? Aaron Rodgers takes them down the field, right? They march down the field. They get a touchdown. Let's say the offense struggles to open up the gate. You know, we punt the ball, they march it down. Maybe Bosa gets a sack on 3rd down or something like that. They kick a field goal and they're up 10-0, getting the ball back. You know, could I definitely see a scenario where it takes the offense? If I could see a scenario where it takes the offense a little bit to get going, and if they're up 10-0, 17-0, you know, 21-3, could I see a scenario like that? Yes. my only hope is if the Niners, if I believe the offense will struggle to come out the gate. So if the offense is struggling, my hope is that it's just 10-0, 7-3 type. And it's like, okay, the Niners are going to take over. We can still beat our bag. We can still run CMC. We can still, JP Mason at the end. You know what I'm saying? We can play 49er football. If it's 21-3, going into half or something like that, that gets a little bit rough. So to me, it's about the defense, really, honestly, in the beginning of the year.
All right.
But going through the next half of this, how are you feeling about the 2 Thursday night games? I like the divisional.
I hate Thursday night games in general.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn if they're a little bit easier because of, they're just divisional. I don't like the rest aspect for the players, and not just the Niners per se. I hate the entire aspect of playing again on such short rest. The games are usually crap because the guys are still tired. They're still dealing with their injuries and everything. So I don't like any Thursday night games, and I hate the fact that we've got 2.
No, I hate the fact that we have 2. My thing, I broke it down before. The league can have you play the Thursday before your bye, or the Thursday after your bye week. Each team, you just have a team have their bye week, and then the week after, you play on Thursday night. So, for example, week 10, we would play Tampa Bay on Thursday night, or they would switch it, and we'd play the Yams or the Sheepcocks. It almost seems like a lightweight tradition. Just the game in Chicago is going to be Thursday night.
Yeah,
obviously,
you've almost got a 25% chance of it, at minimum, that at least one of the divisional games with Seattle will be a Thursday night.
I want to say the last one I legitimately remember. The last one I remember not being, I don't think 21 when Jimmy hurt his ankle. I don't believe that one was on Thursday, and I know 2019. The game in Chicago wasn't. That was obviously Sunday Night Football. But hey, I mean, also the last few times I remember it being on Thursday, we whooped the shit out of them. So hey, if every team's got to go through it, and if we could continue beating the Sheepcocks every time we play them on Thursday, then yeah, I'm down.
I just hate Thursday Night Football.
Look, Jason, I get frustrated because I know this is never going to happen. I know. Hey, you know what? We do need T-shirts. Thursdays in the shit out of. I know it's never gonna happen, and I know I sound like a grumpy old get off my man, but I wish they would just simply play fucking all Sundays. And then you do Monday night, and it's like when I was a kid, Monday night was a huge deal because Monday night was like that's the only game that's not on Sunday.
Yep.
Monday night was a huge deal. I mean, sure, like Monday night is a big deal because it's another day of football. So, any day of football is a big deal. But do I feel like has Monday night lost some of its speciality since you got Thursday night shit? Now you got Wednesday football, Saturday football.
We're going to have Black Friday football.
Black Friday football.
Yeah, it's that mysticism and that speciality behind Monday Night Football has lost it. Not to mention is like your team plays on Sunday. Like, don't you just kind of want to break some days? You know what I mean? It's just like sometimes it's just like I just want to break. What is up, Anshel, my brother?
I literally remember the first time I spent all day watching football. Right, like woke up, watched the morning game, watched the Niner game, watched the Sunday game. Right. I remember my uncle was offered to take me to Home Depot because my grandparents needed something done around the house or something. He's like, "Hey, TJ, you want to come with me to Home Depot?" I say, "No, I'm going to watch football with Grandpa all day." He goes, I totally get it, dude. If I could watch football all day, I'd watch football all day. And then I remember by the end of the day, kind of just being like, I'm burnt out. And that was actually one of the only Monday night games we didn't watch the next week. That next day, because I was just like kind of burnt out on football. Like I'm kind of cool. And I think that's another reason why I'm so dedicated to the night. I don't watch the morning games, any of that. It's because it allows me not to be overwhelmed. Like a lot of, as far as the actual watching of football, I only watch one game a week, maybe two if we're on a Thursday, versus everybody who watches. I'd rather watch the whole Niner game than 5 minutes of every other game. I feel like you can kind of get overwhelmed like that. So I agree with you.
And the thing about if you've got kids or you went to a big school, you got Friday night football, you got college football on Saturday. It's hard to keep up with everything all the time. Unless you have no other hobbies. I'm sorry, I have a ton of other hobbies. I have a wife I have to pay some attention to every once in a blue moon.
I'm saying.
So, I mean, there's other things I want to do just besides football. And now that we've got Thursday night football, it's just like, fuck, now I got no time.
I tell my girl all the time, I'm like, look, I didn't get into a relationship to be single or to be by myself all the time. I could be single and chill by myself. And so I can't blame her, if she's looking at me like, well, like there'll be times I'll sit outside and I'll get lost into watching videos and chain smoke. Like last night, I was outside, like just chain smoking for like an hour and a half. And my girl, she walked outside and she goes to me, she goes, hey, so next time you bitch about how we never spend time together, think about the hour and a half that you've been out here just by yourself chilling, like while I've been in the room, my thumb up my ass, like, what's up, motherfucker?
Like oh shit, I didn't really like something, but yeah, you start looking up stuff, and next thing you know, you've gone down that YouTube rabbit hole, 9 videos.
But yeah, so I love what? Oh, I can read from them, but I don't have the time. I love from afar.
I hate when because there's that good portion of the season where the NFL and NHL cross over. It's like shit. I would like to watch more hockey.
That's one of the reasons. Like, I mean, same here. My girl, we actually got in an argument because I've been playing NBA 2K24 a lot, right? And she goes, you're not even that much of a basketball fan. And I was like, dude, honestly, I was like, you don't know when I was younger. Like, legitly, that's all I did. I said, I don't watch basketball. I said, do you not remember one of the first sporting events me and my girl actually participated in together was listening to the Giants-Dodger series when we fucking lost to them. And I was like tearing apart the car. It was bad. But I'm surprised my girl wasn't like, yeah, I'm going to drop you off and good luck with your life. But I said, I stopped listening to Giants baseball. I stopped watching Sharks hockey. Go Sharks, baby. I stopped doing all these things because I don't watch college football because my girl's going to look at it like, babe, my whole life is sports. Either we're going to spend all our time apart from each other because my girl's like, hey, I'm not sitting here spending all my life watching sports, or in order to sit with me, she's all going to have to be miserable and just sit through a million sporting events. I believe that's what you want to know. One of the reasons why I believe baseball has died down is because it's every fucking day. And people just don't have the dedication to go every single day. There's life, work, school. People have lives. They can't dedicate 7:30 to 10:30 every single night to Giants baseball. When that's pretty much like when most people are going to do things because that's when everybody's off of work.
Yeah.
The one thing that's always been easy with football, especially with relationships, is, hey, babe, just give me Sunday. That's your mom's day off. You and your mom could do y'all thing. I got what I'm saying? It's very easy.
Flex?
What's up, Flex? How you doing? Bang, bang. Very easy to just say, hey, babe, every Sunday, Niner football, any other day of the week is yours. It's so easy to say that. No more than straight games home. Actually, they ran some numbers, and this is a little interesting. Since 2011, teams coming off their bye week only have a 528% winning percentage. I actually thought it would be higher.
Yeah.
That's basically around 500. So basically a team's got a 50-50 shot of winning off of its bye week.
They are rested, but you do lose some of that continuity and that timing a little bit. You do have to kind of build that back up a little bit. Yep.
You know what team? I'd be curious to look back. I haven't watched the Chiefs in the Super Bowl besides the two that they played us. But I'd almost be curious if that's the reason why their offenses came out flat. Because a lot of the Chiefs' offensive is based off of timing and things of that nature. How much of is that the reason why we've been able to get up to 10-0 leads or 10-point leads? And it takes a second for the offense to get going.
Makes sense.
Just something curious to keep an eye on. Let me see. I think that was all I wanted to go over. Did you know the network that gets the Super Bowl, if there's a rematch, doesn't get the rematch?
No, I did not know that.
Basically, what I was this guy Haberman video was how I found out. Basically, the reason I think Niners Chiefs aren't prime time is because Fox basically was only going to get so many Chief games. So they basically put in all their eggs in their basket and said, we don't give a fuck. We just want Niners Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why it ended up on Fox. Fox was like, look, if we're going to get a Chiefs game, we don't give a fuck what. We just want Niners Chiefs. And they were like, okay, fine. We just want that Super Bowl rematch. It wasn't going to go to CBS because they did the Super Bowl. Netflix is only going to be Christmas. Apparently, we were never in the run for Christmas. We were never in consideration.
That's good because that really sucked last year. I mean, I had a good time, but I know a lot of people whose holidays were ruined because of it. People having to choose. You want to watch the game, blah, blah, blah. And I get it. I mean, it wasn't a problem for me because, I really did the whole family thing. And I was at the Thanksgiving game, and then Christmas, I wasn't even working. So, I mean, it was great for me, but I understand it just sucks.
Truthfully, Thanksgiving was kind of a little like, okay, secretly, I'm gonna say be 100. I actually liked having the games on the holidays because it gave me an excuse not to be with my girl's family. You know what I'm saying? They just gave me a very excuse like, hey, Thursday, I'm gonna be chilling, watching the Niner game. Hey, babe, just bring me over some leftovers. On Christmas morning, it was very easy. We woke up. We were my girl's mom calls them Santa presents, but she usually gets us like stocking stuffers, and she'll get us like one present each. Like I got a Dr. Squash. I got a couple of Dr. Squash soaps. That's usually what my mother-in-law will get me. So I was able to still do our Christmas morning tradition of, hey, we all wake up, we open presents from each other, and then just able because it was a Sunday, it was a Monday night game. I was able to still wake up, do Christmas morning, and then dip to the game. So I avoided the awkward of sitting around watching everybody else open up Christmas presents. So I personally liked it. Was my girl happy? Yeah, because either now, well, yes and no, because she either realizes that I'm still not going to come and it's just going to end up being a fight, or that she's going to force me to go. And I'm the type of person like, I'll do it, but I'm a bitch and whine and cry about it. I'm going to let you know that I don't want to do this. So I walk away from this schedule. This kind of has a 13-4, 12-5 vibe, bro. What you thinking?
I had it at 13-4.
13-4.
Yep.
So I'm looking it up right now. Because I was curious. Everybody talks about how we haven't won since 1992 in Minnesota. Actually, we didn't even play in Minnesota in 92. So it's actually been since 90. Hold on.
See, I had us losing.
Oh, okay. My bad. Okay. It was 92. So it was 92 we lost. So it was 91. 91 was the last time we won there. But we've had 1, 2. Oh, wait. 1. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Hold on. This is weird. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Because I can't tell which one's okay. At 49ers. Okay, here we go. So the last time we won there was 1990. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Because I can never tell if it's at Niners or at Vikings. Okay. So last time we won was 20. Oh, wait. Okay, right here. 20-17. Want to guess who the Niners quarterback was?
Steve Young.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's not the one. The surprise. You want to guess who the Minnesota quarterback was?
So it was it Favre then?
Nope. We're talking about 92, bro.
Was it Randall?
Nope.
Who
It's gonna be one that you're like, he played for the fucking Vikings?
I'm trying to think who else played for the Vikings in that time period. I think that was before Culpepper.
Yes.
Jeff George?
No, that's a nice one, but no. But this quarterback actually has played for a team. Him and Jeff George have actually played for the same team besides the Vikings.
Him and
The
Jeff
player
George.
I'm thinking of and Jeff George both played on another team, not together, but they both have another stop that they both went to. Give up?
Yeah, I'm stumped on that one. Jeff George is my best guess. Who?
Rich Gannon.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, he was in the league for like 9,000 years.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those quarterbacks. But so, as far as games since then that have been in Minnesota, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So everybody talks about how everybody has talked about how, we haven't won there in over 30 years. Yeah, well, it's been 7 ball games. You know, so like, let's not act like they're division rivals and we go there every single year. You know? But if
I'm
you put it
focused on that Chiefs week. Nah.
See, bro.
I'll worry about the Chiefs when we get back to the Super Bowl playoff kind of thing. That's like, do I want to beat the Chiefs? Yes, but I want to beat them in the Super Bowl. I don't give a damn about revenge games or anything like that. The only revenge,
it's not a revenge
is
game.
in the Super Bowl. No, it's not. It's not unless it's the Super Bowl.
I'm so glad y'all brought that up because let's say we go out there, we beat them 84-0. You know what every one of those players that was on the team last year is going to do? They're going to go.
Yep, they're going to pull up their ring, and that'll be the end of the conversation. That's why I'm not worried about that.
Not the ring. They're going to go like this.
Oh, yeah, both of them, yeah.
I'm just saying. So, we won the regular season. We said it last year for the Eagles. Were we all happy we beat the shit out of them? Yes, I was ecstatic. I came on here. I seen Cry Eagles cry. I was in Canyon Inn running around saying, especially when Debo scored that touchdown, just waved bye to everybody. Like, honestly, that might have been one of my favorite Niner road wins as a fan. regular season. That legitimately might have been one of my favorite regular season road wins. That and the year that we went back and we beat the Aints after Ahmad Brooks. Ahmad Brooks got that sack strip fumble to beat the Aints the year after that bullshit call. Those are probably and the Kittle. I forgot about the Kittle. There's actually been kind of quite a few in New Orleans, but yes, I loved it. But did it take away the NFC Championship game? No, it didn't. You know, you and I both came on that Tuesday. One of the first things out of our mouths was, "This ain't the fucking Super Bowl." You know, you and I both said that. Like, cool, awesome, you beat them. Like, you know.
Well, what's that thing? You get 24 hours to celebrate, and after that, you move on. And even with that one, it's just like, okay, we beat them. Now what? What's next?
Yeah. Cool. So we could go back and not cry when we watch Super Bowl highlights and think about what could have been because we beat them in the regular season in 2024. Like, are you serious? Like, I mean, I'm not gonna get depressed every time I see a fucking ladybug. You don't know how many times I cussed out the ladybugs in the bushes in my front yard. I was like, y'all motherfuckers supposed to bring us luck, bitch ass. I was like, bro, I swear to God, I'd squish you right now, bro. I said that to him. I was like, bro.
But I mean, I get why people want it. They want the revenge. It's been a while since we have beaten the Chiefs, and I get it, but it's like I said, if we lose the Chiefs, okay, we lose the Chiefs. We're going to lose to one of the best teams in the NFL. We're going to be losing to a defending champion. Plus, we're losing to an AFC team, so it doesn't really matter. The only time it matters that we're losing to an AFC team is when we're playing in the Super Bowl. Other than that, I'm not too terribly worried about it.
Could I understand that you could say it could be important for the psychological aspect of this team's never beaten Patrick Mahomes? And just to prove that we could beat Patrick Mahomes? Yeah. Will I be screaming my lungs out that Sunday afternoon, you know, at Levi Stadium, you know, and everything like that? Yes, I will. But
what would you rather have, a Chiefs win or a Cowboys win?
Yeah, but I was just about to say, if you told me that I could only have one of those two, let's be real.
Give me the Cowboys.
The Cowboys is the one we want.
Yep. Give me the Cowboys. And that's why I've said, you know, like, we can't beat the Chiefs until the Chiefs beat us, or until we beat the Chiefs. Cowboys can't beat us until the Cowboys beat us. So give me that Cowboys win. It's, you know, same conference. It matters more for seeding and all that. I'll take the Chiefs loss.
Exactly. When you tell us what is going to have more of an impact on the 2024 regular season and setting us up in the playoffs, a win against the Cry Girls, which I honestly could decide home field advantage and where that now. Honestly, let's be real. I don't fear them playing them in Dallas. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be just the same. I think.
Yeah, we're playing them at home, so.
Yeah,
you're talking playoffs. Like we have to go there.
Yeah, playing in the playoffs.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't fear going to Dallas and beating them in Dallas. You know. But would I like the game to be at home? Yeah.
So what teams would you be worried about going on the road to play? In the NFC, I would think Seattle, Green Bay, and I could see the lot, and I could see. I'm more Lions than Vikings because I think the Vikings. You know what I mean? So I think those three would be the only ones that would be like, oh man, like I wouldn't worry about going to Tampa Bay, and Arizona. Yeah, you know, I'm not worried about Philly, kind of, you know, but those ones. But
Philly in the NFC Championship game. Philly in the NFC Championship game after what we did to them last year.
What up, Corona?
That would be one of the most psychotic atmospheres, Jason. Yeah. If we play them again in the NFC Championship game in Philadelphia after what we did to them last year, and especially considering it ain't like we're not going to talk shit going up to that game. Well, you think all of a sudden Debo's going to take back everything he said? You know, now how many of those players are still on there? Bradbury ain't going to be there. You know, so in theory, the players that he called trash aren't necessarily going to be on the team. But still, you don't think that? I mean, out of just being a man, Jason, just as a man, forget ego, forget pride, forget all that. As a man, that somebody talks all this shit about how if their quarterback didn't go down, they would have whooped your ass. Not even like we would have won. We would have won a close game. I think Brock would have gave us the edge in a closer game. No, like basically came out and said we would have demolished y'all niggas. Right? Talks all this shit. Comes into your home dressed in all black, like, yes, nigga, we are coming here for your funeral. And then proceeds to go on your home field and put up 6 touchdowns in a row. 6. And just and especially the end of that game. Because at the end of that game, it wasn't that we were physically beating them. It wasn't like we were beating them on the scoreboard. I mean, look at that hit on Demo on Swift.
Yep.
And you have all that happen to you. I'm sorry, bro. You can't make it in the NFL without being an alpha type A personality, right? Like to make it in the NFL, especially the trenches, things like that, especially defensively and offensively in the trenches, you've got to be an alpha male. There's no alpha male on the planet that would take that lane down. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not, bro. So yes, going in Philadelphia, for the NFC Championship game, yeah, that would make me nervous. Detroit definitely would make me nervous. Green Bay, just simply because the weather, any type of Chicago weather, any type of weather scenarios with Brock, especially, number one takeaway from the schedule, real quick, I love the only 2 weather games. I mean, it's going to be iffy. Shit, I don't, Levi's, everybody acts like it's impossible for it to rain at Levi's. It's not. It's rained here before. In, November, December, October, November, December, January. It's rained before in Northern California during those months.
And if you remember, I did that thing looking at Brock, his college career, when, because you're thinking Iowa, oh man, he played in the snow all the time. Nope. He played in some cold games. Nothing like Buffalo cold, like, where it's like -2 degrees plus a wind chill. He had some games where there was 15, really 20, rain. 25. Even rain, there wasn't that many rain.
Rain and snow is what concerns me with Brock.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just he had some really cold games, but as far as actual weather games, there wasn't many rain games. And one of the only he only had like 3 snow games, I think is what it was. One of them was in a dome because he was playing in a New Year's Eve game or a New Year's Day game. So I mean, that really doesn't count. Yeah, it snowed outside, but that doesn't count. So all the people who are like, "Oh, he knows how to do it in the weather and everything," it's like, well, yeah, but doing it's a different thing. He didn't get the extent that you thought that he did in college in Iowa, and obviously being in Arizona, playing high school ball, you didn't worry about the snow in Arizona.
Brock is definitely a West Coast quarterback. But I feel the same way about the Chiefs Cry Girls that I do about Buffalo, Green Bay. If you said, "Hey, T, we could give you Buffalo or we could give you Green Bay," give me Green Bay. That especially give me Green Bay, bro, because I am not trying to go to Green Bay in January. I am not trying to go into Green Bay in January.
Especially because I don't want to listen to my wife, the Packer fan.
Yeah, no, bro. That would look, I ain't gonna lie. Let's be real. It took a fucking bloody miracle for us to walk out of Green Bay last time with the dub. We had no business winning that game. It took a blocked field goal and a blocked punt. When have you ever watched a football game, Jason, that had a blocked field goal and a blocked punt in it?
We literally have to pull everything out and the kitchen sink twice. We might have went next door and grabbed their kitchen sink.
Baby. It didn't matter. You want to know why? That's why. Anyway,
we all can't stand Jimmy at times, but fuck the Packers.
And you know what? You know what I love about that too is because that came from Jimmy's soul. that was little boy Jimmy Garoppolo, who when Aaron Rodgers beat him, because Jimmy was probably alive when they played in the NFC Championship game.
Oh yeah, yeah. He probably might have been a teenager.
Got his heart broken that day. By
because I was
Aaron
a teenager.
Rodgers and the Whackers.
Yeah.
That was that little boy coming out when he said, "Fuck the Pack." That was that Chicago. I grew up a Bears fan. Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, broken my heart.
Okay, so Jimmy's 32.
Yeah.
So I remember watching that one when I was like
16,
7. Huh?
It was 05.
Okay, yeah. So
I know because my group home staff was a diehard Bears fan, and he went to.
He went to Northern Illinois.
He actually went to that. Hold on, I'll look it up right now. But I want to say it was like 05 because I remember he went to that Super Bowl. But
I mean, I could see Jimmy, growing up in that, that time.
Jimmy definitely he admitted he grew up a Bears fan. So when he said "fuck the Packers" right there, and especially the way he said it, it was Jimmy, little boy. I'm a Bears fan, and the Packers break my heart.
He had that rivalry like we have it with the Seahawks.
My bad. It was 2010. It was 2010.
So I mean, it was still a youngish Jimmy.
Yeah, so that's.
So put him in what, 18?
Yeah, something like that. Well, Jimmy's 32, so that would mean he was born in 92. So he's like, about 18, 19.
Yeah. Hey, math off the top of my head, I'm kind of impressed with myself.
Yeah. So that's what's so beautiful about that clip is that came from Jimmy's soul. That was the little boy. Sometimes, we always forget because so me, I've always said plenty of times on this show, Jason, I've watched this team get rid of Jerry Rice. I've watched this team trade away Joe Montana. I've watched this team let Ronnie Lott walk. I've watched this team let Roger Craig walk. We've seen every player that's on our Mount Rushmore, right? Joe, Jerry, Ronnie, Steve. Except for Steve, which if you did let's be real, if you did it's Bill, Joe, Jerry, Ronnie are the Mount Rushmore. Every one of those players finished their career in a different uniform. So our Mount Rushmore. And so how many times have I said, remember in 21 with Debo? I love Debo. Shit, I got 19 problems, but your D ain't one. That's what my t-shirt says right now. But I said, who the fuck is Debo Samuel to Jerry Rice? If I watched Jerry Rice walk across the bay the day after he signed, the Mercury News put out here in San Jose, put out a picture, and it was Jerry Rice catching the pass, and his jersey slowly changed from red and white to black and silver. Right. And I remember just as and my teacher taped it on my desk. And I remember, bro, I almost threw up all that shit, bro. That shit was, oh God, that shit fucking wrenched my soul. If I deal with that, so we're so used to these players treating it as a business and everything like that we forget. Basically, I feel like sometimes the difference between them and us is they were better athletes than us. If Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't able to play quarterback at the level he was, he would be Jimmy the electrician who's the diehard Bears fan, Yeah. So they're no different than us. And I always like that. Like, one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen is that Brandon Crawford didn't get to grow up, didn't get to retire a Giant. Because I remember when he signed his last contract with the Giants, he put on Twitter, he said, it's one of my greatest joys in life knowing that I'll only ever put on one baseball cap my whole life. Because he literally was born a Giant. There's actually a picture they have of him. The Giants used to tweet it out all the time. But there's like one of the last games. We were supposed to, in 97, we were supposed to move. It was done deal. The Giants were moving to St. Petersburg, and we were going to become the Marlins. It was a done. And Peter Townsend and a few owners come in last minute. They saved the team, and they built an AT&T, and the Giants stay in San Francisco. At one of the last home games, there's a picture of a young Brandon Crawford, and he's holding up a sign that says, "Please don't take my Giants." And the Giants always used to tweet it out and everything like that. So Brandon, so it happens. So that's why I love that clip, and that's why I play it. Because you know what? I'm a 90s Niner fan. Fuck the Whackers, bro. The Whackers growing up, truthfully, in my lifetime, the Whackers have broken my heart more than the Cry Girls have.
Yeah, that's it.
One of the first seasons I actually remember I remember watching the first game to I remember us losing to the Whackers in the NFC Championship game was in the 97th season. That's probably the first year I could say I remember and I started to become what was eventually to be known as Niner Faithful. That's probably when I started watching all the games and everything was the year I lived at my grandparents. So anyway, yeah, I'm thinking 13 and 4, 12 and 5. If maybe like Arizona beats us at home, or even last year, I could totally see a scenario like last year. We have it. Let's be real. I probably think our biggest competition for the 1 seed is going to be the Lions. I could definitely see a scenario that last home game where we beat the Lions, wrap up the 1 seed, we sit everybody week 18, and Arizona beats us, and we're 12 and 5. When realistically we should have been 13 and 4, but our official record is 12 and 5 because I don't think this is going to be the year Philadelphia won the NFC where somebody's going to win it being 14 and 3 or 15 and 2. I don't see that. I see it more like last year where we won we got the 1 seed with 12 and 5.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, final thoughts?
It's a decent schedule overall. I don't like the 2 back-to-back really hard games that we got,
Yeah.
Especially with the rest. I think that'll definitely come into that. But other than that, yeah, not the worst. I mean, I think last year's schedule was worse. Glad we're not playing any international games or holiday games.
Definitely. I don't like the Thursday games either. But, I mean, I could bitch and whine, but guess what? Don't be one of the best teams in football and have 6 primetime games. Right?
Yeah.
That's just a consequence of being the.
So speaking of that, can they flex that? So say for some reason it comes down to Arizona, we have a situation where like one team, whoever gets the division gets the 1 seed and the other team gets the 5th seed.
Yeah.
Would they flex that into another primetime game? I don't know if
I know. I believe they could flex it till Sunday night.
No, but say
I think they got it decided the week before. I think
they would
the week before.
Yeah, because they have to give like the fans so much time to. But I'm just wondering, is there a limit on how many primetime games? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've got 6. Would they actually give us 7?
I know the max you can be scheduled is 6. But, I mean, it's the NFL. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, I'm just curious how that would work out. Like, if that was the kind of the situation where they actually flex it
I know.
into prime time. So
yeah,
crazy.
I don't know. Because I think Arizona is going to be – because I would think whatever that other team we're competing on, let's just say the Lions, whatever other team would probably have a more intriguing game than us in Arizona.
It'd have to come down to needing seeding purposes for the playoffs. That's the only reason why I would see it being moved.
But yeah, overall, all right, brother. We'll catch you next week.
Indeed. Talk to you later.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Yeah, overall, I thought last year's schedule was harder. I don't like that back-to-back Green Bay Buffalo or back-to-back Kansas City Cry Girls, but overall, bang bang Niner gang. I think that we can do it. The rest factor, I think, will show up more towards the back end half of the year. But hopefully, as per normal, football teams playing their best football going into that stretch. It's October. May 21st, so a lot could happen before then. I'm just fired up that we can start talking about, knowing where these games are and start planning some things for y'all. We'll go ahead and see y'all next week. We're going to get back into our position breakdowns. So, by the way, big shout out, our new fan, PYT. I see you, girl. All right. So you're going to definitely want to tune into next week's show because I know you're new to American football. So next week's show will probably be more of a better show for you to understand things and start to learn about the greatest team in the NFL history. All right. We shall see y'all next week. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.